How are you doing this morning?
Fine, thank you.
My name is Susan Jones, and I'm with the city, and we're having problems with the sewer lines in this area. I was wondering if you have a few moments of your time where you could talk with me about how you can help us out.
Certainly. Come on into the kitchen, because we don't need to have any problems with our plumbing. Have a seat. By the way, my name is Brenda. This is my husband, Tony. Excuse the mess. We just had a big party last night and just getting around to cleaning up.
That's okay. In fact, the reason I came to talk to you folks today is about kitchen cleanup.
Kitchen cleanup? I thought you were going to talk to us about problems with sewer in the area and how we can help.
I did, and you can help. A lot of people don't realize how many problems the city has with oil and grease in our sewer lines. Think of the sewer lines like the arteries in your body. This city is on a high-fat diet and has been for a very long time. And just like the fat clogs your arteries, grease and oil clog the city's sewer pipes. Once your arteries are clogged, the doctor does angioplasty to clean them out. The city has to do the same thing to get the sewer pipes clean. What we do is send a scraper or a high-pressure water nozzle down the pipes to get the grease and oil out. It costs a lot of money to fix the problem. And if we don't fix it, the sewer can back up into folks' homes or overflow into the street from manholes. Either situation is very unhealthy. Most folks think the problem is only with restaurants, cafeterias, and fast food places, but it's just not them. Sure, they can cause problems, but they have grease traps and interceptors that catch the grease before it hits the sewer lines. The city requires those traps and interceptors to be cleaned out frequently to keep them operating properly. We also educate the restaurants on ways to keep grease and food scraps out of the drain. Houses and apartments, on the other hand, don't have grease traps, so it's very important to talk to homeowners and apartment tenants about what they can do to help. If we continue to have these overflows, the state and federal environmental agencies may make us spend a lot of money repairing and replacing sewer lines, which would then again raise our sewer rates significantly. If the city spends all this money, but citizens and businesses do not reduce the grease going down the drains, we will have the problem again. Seems to me like a waste of money.
Wow, I had no idea. I don't want to pay more, and I sure don't want to pay any more plumbing bills for sewage backups. It seems to me that if everyone does their share to keep the grease out of the pipes, it can make a big difference.
Those are good points, Tony. Now, if the backup is in your line before you connect to the city, the problem is yours and so is the bill. So therefore, you end up paying for it, whether the problem is yours or the city's. And these costs can escalate from several hundred to several thousands of dollars for plumbing bills, replacing floors, carpets, and walls. Now, let's go to the kitchen so I can show you how to avoid these problems. Wow, you really did have a big party.
It was my brother's birthday. We fried a turkey, fixed potato salad, roasted corn on the cob, and made ice cream.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better meal for me to show you the solutions in the problem.
Really? Show us what to do.
Well, I see you've got a cup of butter here.
Yes, we melted that to brush on the corn.
Well, since it sat overnight, it's hardened a little bit. Let me show you what to do. You'll take a paper towel and stick it in the butter and let it absorb the butter as much as you can. And then you can throw that paper towel away. And as you see, there's a little bit left there, so grab you another paper towel and then just wipe out the cup, and most of it's gone, and that's ready to wash.
That's easy. What about this pan that I fried bacon in for breakfast this morning?
Well, let's see. Do you have an empty coffee can somewhere?
Yes, I do. Under the...
Okay. What you need to do is take the pan with the grease in it and pour it in the coffee can. As much as you can get out of the pan there. And next, take a paper towel and wipe as much grease out of the pan as you can get. Very good. That looks good. Now it's ready to wash. You can store the can under your sink or in your refrigerator, whichever way you prefer, until the can gets full. And when it gets full, just put the lid back on it and throw it in the trash. You can do the same thing for oil. Just put it in something with a screw-top lid so it won't leak in the trash. I use an empty plastic bottle myself. And just make sure the oil is cool so you don't melt the bottle. I also use a funnel to prevent spilling the oil while pouring it.
I have an oil problem for you. What do I do with the big pot of oil I fried the turkey in?
Well, some people pour it down in the gutter, and that's a very bad idea. The gutter goes into the creeks and the rivers and the lakes. And after all, who wants to swim in a lake full of old turkey oil?
Yuck.
Exactly. And you can look in the Yellow Pages to see if there are grease recyclers in the area that would pick it up for you. Some cities recycle their oils through their local household hazardous waste recycling programs. But if those services aren't available to you, do you possibly have any Play Kitty left?
Sure, I keep a bag in the garage to clean up oil spills when I'm working on my car.
That's great. Just take the kitty litter and mix the cooled frying oil with that. The easiest thing to do is pour the litter in the pot of oil a little at a time. When the litter has soaked up all the oil, throw the litter into a plastic trash bag, seal it to prevent leaks, and place it in the trash. Now wipe out the pot with paper towels and you're ready to wash it.
Well, all these things are easy to do. Is there anything else we should be doing to keep oil and grease out of the sewer?
Sure there is. Grease and oil come from lots of things. Some of them are obvious, like cooking oil, meat fats, shortening, butter, and margarine. Others aren't so easy to spot, like food scraps, baked goods, sauces, and dairy products. Let's tackle these hidden sources next. Don't put food down the drain, even through a garbage disposal. As it decays in the sewer, it creates sewer gas, which smells like rotten eggs. The sewer gas also mixes with water to create sulfuric acid, which corrodes the pipes and manholes.
Well, I certainly don't like the smell of rotten eggs, and I don't want the city spending money on things that I could have helped prevent it. That just raises sewer rates. What else can we do?
Before you wash your dishes, scrape the food scraps into the trash or into a piece of newspaper for disposal. Then wipe the utensils, plate, pot, or pan with a napkin or paper towel.
Makes sense, and it's easy to do. What else?
Be sure that when you're peeling vegetables or trimming meats, that you put the peels and trimmings in the trash and not down the drain.
I got one right. I always put newspaper underneath the cutting board. That way, when I get through, I just scrape the scraps onto the paper, wrap the paper up, throw it in the trash, and I've got a clean counter.
Hey, that's a great idea. You know, I think I'll start doing that at home myself. You know, talking to people every day like I do in my job, I learn something new every day. Thank you.
We certainly learned a lot today, but I do have a question for you. My brother, you know, the one that we have the party for, lives in the country on a septic system. Should he do the same things that you have been showing us today?
Absolutely. If he doesn't keep the oil and grease and food particles out of the septic system, it's definitely going to cost him a lot of money.
Why definitely?
Well, a septic system is not connected to any sewer. It has a drain field. All the oil and grease that goes down the sink ends up floating at the top of the tank and then flowing out into the drain field. If enough gets into that field, your brother will have to pay somebody to repair it. That means digging up the pipes and replacing them and the filter media around them.
My brother said that his neighbor had to do that last year and spent thousands of dollars.
Well, it definitely isn't cheap. When food scraps are put down the drain, that means more solids in the tank. And once again, it fills up faster. Think of it this way. Instead of having it pumped once every 3 years, you may have to have it pumped 4 to 5 times every 3 years because of all the solids, grease, and oil poured down the sink. Each pump out can cost $100 or more, and it's very expensive, depending upon the size and the location where he is.
I'll be sure to let my brother know about this. He doesn't like to spend money when he doesn't have to, and these tips are so easy to do.
Susan, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and show us how we can help the city.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks for giving me some of your time. And be sure to tell your neighbors and friends. The city needs all the help it can get spreading the word.